every single one of us have been hurt. There are people who have been victimized. And here's the thing. If we don't deal with that situation immediately, we can live a victim's mentality life. Okay? And this is the thing. There's an event and there are lifestyles. Two different things. Okay? One of them happened to you when you were 11, an event. And now you've got it continuing to happen, and you're 51, lifestyle. Okay? Events are lifestyle. And folks, events are like seeds. How many of you know that? When things happen in our life, it is a seed being sown into our life. Okay? And if you internalize that event will turn into a lifestyle that will eventually continue to pop up in your life. Let me give you an example. Make it very plain. When you plant grass seed out in your front yard, you don't have to go out there every spring and say, "Come forth, grass, in the name of Jesus." Why? Because that soil has internalized that seed, and come due season, that grass is going to pop back up. Then it's time to get the mower out, okay, and cut the grass. And that's the same thing that happens to offensive events in our life. If they are not dealt with and uprooted immediately, that seed is going to be sown into your life. It's going to internalize, and you're going to find yourself circling around that same mountain over and over and over again. So you'll be 41 circling that mountain at 40 that you did at 21. And see, some of us have had events happen in our life that have become a lifestyle. Go over to Proverbs chapter 19. Proverbs chapter 19. Now remember what we're talking about. We're talking about this morning about being baited. Okay? When you get baited to, when you're baited to get hurt, when you're baited to get angry, when you're baited to get resentful, how many of you know the enemy is going to throw that bait out there? And he's waiting, he's wanting to see what you're going to do. What are you going to do? Because that's going to be a defining moment in your life. When people email you, cuss you out over the computer. That doesn't happen to us, but we know people like that. Well, that is a defining moment in your life. What are you going to do? Get mad? I'll tell you what. Or delete it. I'll just delete it. I don't got time for this. Or you can get mad and call that person out and say, you know what, you got to. Or are you going to delete it and go on with the rest of your day? That's going to be a very defining moment. Okay, let me leave that alone. Proverbs chapter 19. Look at verse 19. A man of great what? Wrath. Notice this. A man of great. Now there is a difference between wrath and anger. Okay? Anger is a momentary emotion. Okay? Some people get angry very quickly. Others have a longer tolerance. But every single one of us are going to get angry. This emotion called anger is not sin. That's why Paul says be angry and do not. It's okay to be angry, just don't act on it. But it's when you internalize that moment that you will become a person of wrath. That's what the Bible's talking about here. Anger is momentary, but when that anger is internalized and you keep it and you become a time bomb, you will become a person of wrath. And everyone and everybody and everything is going to pay for what happened to you back then. Are you following me? Let's keep reading verse 19. A man of great wrath, or watch this, a man who has internalized that anger will suffer what? Punishment. Watch this. For if you rescue him, you will have to do it again. Okay? Now let's break this down. The Bible's saying right here, a man who has internalized anger or internalized that event will suffer punishment. Now that word punishment in the Hebrew, write this down if you're taking notes, is translated vulnerable to confiscation. In other words, if you're a man of great wrath or a person of great wrath, it's going to be real easy to take your stuff. When you take an event and you internalize it and you become a person of wrath, watch this, it is going to be very easy for the enemy to come in and rob you of your stuff. easily confiscated. Your joy will be easily confiscated. Your peace will be easily confiscated. Your relationships will be easily sabotaged. Your workplace, your career is easily and subject to failure when you become a person of wrath. And the enemy can come in every time and dangle that, and you'll just take it. Why? Because if you rescue him, what does the Bible say? You're going to have to do it again. Okay? In other words, this type of person is destined to end up at the same place over and over and over again. A person of wrath. Why? Because out of the heart flows the issues of life. And if that thing's in your heart, you're going to continue to do it again. That's why, have you ever met somebody at work? It's just constantly causing trouble? You go to your supervisor, can you please either fire this person or put them in another? And that's the thing, is they can take that person and put them in another department, and they're still going to create the same issue. You can marry anybody, and you are still going to create those same issues that are in your life. I can go and pull you out of a crack house and pull you out of a crack house and pull you out of a crack house, and you'll still keep going back. Why? Because it's in your heart, and you continue to take the bait. Turn to your neighbor and tell them, don't take that bait.
Don't take the bait.
Now, folks, how many of you know that it is important that you change your mind? Here we go. Pull your toes back. There is no true change until you change your mind. If your mentality doesn't change, you can go to a new place and nothing will matter. I can change everything around your life, but if you keep the same mentality, you keep thinking the same way, things will never change. It won't matter. That's why you can take a person who is addicted to crack, take them out of a crack house, take them down the street, and put them in a house, $1 million house on the country club. Come back a week later, they'll have all the blinds closed, haven't eaten in a week, all the appliances are gone, and they're in there smoking crack with all their friends. What happened? I took them out of an ugly place, put them in a pretty place, but they're still got that old habit. And you've got to learn how to change your mind. Because there are a lot of people who they think, you know, the answer to my problem is a new car. The answer to my problem is a new house. The answer to my problem is a new apartment. The answer to my problem is a new job. The answer to my problem is a new wife. The answer to my problem is a new husband. Can I be honest with you? That's what people think. The answer to my problem is a new church. Hello. They want everything new, but here's the thing, is you will take an old habit into a new relationship. You will take an old habit into a new house. You will take an old habit into a new church.
That's right.
And things won't change.
Wow.
The problem is never around you. Okay? You cannot fix your life with the external things. You cannot fix your life with shopping. Some ladies are thinking, you don't know me, Pastor. Buy me a new yes, that's fine. It's temporary, but it's not going to fix that internal problem. You cannot fix something internal with something external. I'm not saying don't go shopping. But how many of you know you can enjoy shopping a whole lot better when you've got things fixed on the inside of you? Instead of, I need some new clothes, and you go buy those new clothes. Oh, I look good. Look at me. You just fixed it temporarily, but what about when that feeling goes? When you go home and your kids are screaming and running all over the place, and you're, when are you going to cook something? There goes your joy in me. Are you following me? You can't fix something inside with something external. Hi, Pastor Dwayne Arias, pastor of Fountain of Living Water here in the beautiful city of Wichita Falls, Texas. I'd like to take this time to personally invite you out to 4017 Seymour Highway. If you're not part of a local body of believers, or you're new in this city and you're looking for a home church, I want to invite you out. We'll have our service times scroll on the screen there. But today's message, I'm talking about something that's very important.